जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधवा कुंज गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दना व्रजय रञ्जना यशोदानन्दना व्रजय रञ्जना यमुना जय राधा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Jai Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Jaya Jagannatha, Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannadeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jaya Prabhu Pada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Shtottara Shata Shishya. His Divine Graces Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. ISKCON Samstha Acharya saved the whole world with Guru Srila Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswati Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 3, The Birth of Lord Krishna. Text number. What is it here? Can you read that? The screen is covering. It is 7 and 8 given together in the book. Yesterday we chanted 7, today we will chant 8. Nishithe Tama Udbhute Nishithe Tama Udbhute Jayamane Janardane Jayamane Janardane Devakyam Deva Rupinya Devakyam Deva Rupinya Vishnuha Sarva Guha Shayah Vishnu Sarva Guha Shayah Avirasi Yatha Prachya Avirasi Yatha Prachya Dishi Induhu Iva Pushkalaha Dishirindur Iva Pushkalaha Dishindur Iva Pushkalaha Nishithe Tama Udbhute Jayamane Janardane Devakyam Deva Rupinya Vishnu Sarva Guhashayah Avirasi Yatha Prachya Dishinduriva Pushkalaha Nishithe Tama Udbhute Jayamane Janardane Devakyam Deva Rupinya Vishnu Sarva Guhashayah Avirasi Yatha Prachya दिशीन्दुरिव पुष्कलः निशीथे तव उद्भूते जायमाने जनार्दने देवक्यां देवरूपिण्यां विष्णुः सर्वगुहाशयः आविरासीद्यथा प्राच्या दिशीन्दुरिव पुष्कलः निशीथे तम उद्भूते जायमाने जनार्दने देवक्यां देवरूपिण्यां विष्णुः सर्वगुहाशयः आविरासीद्यथा प्राच्यां दिशीन्दुरिव पुष्कलः निशीथे late at night tamah udbhute when it was densely dark jayamane on the appearance of Janardane, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, Devakyam, in the womb of Devaki, Devarupinyam, who was in the same category as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavita Vishnu, Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Lord, Sarvaguhashaya, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart. Avirasi, appeared, yatha, as, prachya, dishi, in the east, indu, iva, like the full moon, pushkalaha, complete in every respect. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. The two verses are given together, the translation. I'll read the complete translation of both the verses, 7 and 8. The demigods and great saintly persons showered flowers in a joyous mood, and clouds gathered in the sky and very mildly thundered, making sounds like those of the ocean's waves. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart, appeared from the heart of Devaki in the dense darkness of night, like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon, because Devaki was of the same category as Sri Krishna. Please repeat this translation after me. The demigods and great saintly persons showered flowers in a joyous mood, and clouds gathered in the sky and very mildly thundered, making sounds like those of the ocean's waves. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who is situated in the core of everyone's heart, appeared from the heart of Devaki in the dense darkness of night, like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon, because Devaki was of the same category as Sri Krishna. What this verse really means, Prabhupada has elaborately explained in a very nice purport. Kindly hear patiently. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. As stated in the Brahma Samhita 5.37, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitabihi Tabhirya Eva Nija Rupataya Kalabhihi Goloka Eva Nivasati Akilatma Bhuto Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhujami. This verse indicates that Krishna and his entourage are the same spiritual potency, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. Krishna's father, his mother, his friends, the cowherd boys, and the cows are all expansions of Krishna, as will be explained in the Brahma Vibhavana Leela. When Brahma took away Krishna's associates to test the supremacy of Lord Krishna, the Lord expanded himself again in the forms of many cowherd boys and calves, all of whom, as Brahma saw, were Vishnu Murtis. Devaki is also an expansion of Krishna. And therefore this verse says, Devakyam Devarupinyam Vishnu Sarva Guhashayaha. At the time for the Lord's appearance, the great sages and the demigods, being pleased, began to shower flowers. At the seashore, there was the sound of mild waves, and above the sea, there were clouds in the sky, which began to thunder very pleasingly. When things were adjusted like this, Lord Vishnu, who was residing within the heart of every living entity, appeared in the darkness of night as the Supreme Personality of Godhead before Devaki, who appeared as one of the demi-goddesses. The appearance of Lord Vishnu at that time could be compared to the rising of the full moon in the sky on the eastern horizon. The objection may be raised that since Lord Krishna appeared on the 8th day of the waning moon, there could be no rising of the full moon. In answer to this, it may be said that Lord Krishna appeared in the dynasty which is in the hierarchy of the moon. Therefore, although the moon was incomplete on that night, because of the Lord's appearance in the dynasty, wherein the moon is himself the original person, the moon was in an overjoyous condition. So, by the grace of Krishna, he could appear as a full moon. To welcome the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the waning moon became a full moon in jubilation. Those who are not in full knowledge that the appearance and disappearance of the Lord are transcendental, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, are sometimes surprised that the Supreme Personality of Godhead can take birth like an ordinary child. Actually, however, the Lord's birth is never ordinary. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is already situated within the core of everyone's heart as Antaryami, the Super Soul. Thus, because he was present in full potency in Devaki's heart, he was also able to appear outside her body. One of the 12 great personalities is Bhishma Deva, Swayambhur Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Pralado Janako Bhishmaha. In Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st Canto 9th chapter 42nd verse, Bhishma, a great authority to be followed by devotees, says that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is situated in the core of everyone's heart, just as the sun may be on everyone's head. Yet, although the sun may be on the heads of millions and millions of people, this does not mean that the sun is variously situated. Similarly, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead has inconceivable potencies, he can be within everyone's heart and yet not be situated variously. Ekatvam Anupashyataha, Ishopanishad, mantra number 7. The Lord is one, but He can appear in everyone's heart by His inconceivable potency. Thus, although the Lord was within the heart of Devaki, He appeared as her child. According to the Vishnu Purana, therefore, as quoted in the Vaishnava Toshani, the Lord appeared like the sun, Anugraha Asaya. The Brahma Samhita 5.35 confirms that the Lord is situated even within the atom. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. He is situated in Mathura, in Vaikuntha, and in the core of the heart. Therefore, one should clearly understand that He did not live like an ordinary child in the heart or the womb of Devaki, nor did He appear like an ordinary human child, although He seemed to do so in order to bewilder Asuras like Kamsa. The Asuras wrongly think that Krishna took birth like an ordinary child and passed away from this world like an ordinary man. Such Asuric conceptions are rejected by persons in knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan. Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 6th verse. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord is Aja, unborn, and He is the supreme controller of everything. Bhutanam ishwaropisan. Nonetheless, He appeared as the child of Devaki. This verse describes the inconceivable potency of the Lord, who appeared like the full moon. Understanding the special significance of the appearance of the Supreme Godhead, one should never regard Him as having taken birth like an ordinary child. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Shukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj has already requested, please tell me about Krishna in detail, because personalities who appeared in those dynasties. Shukadeva Goswami has already mentioned in the Yadu Vamsha, Yadu dynasty, Krishna appeared. And he briefly said Krishna is actually not an ordinary person. He is not even just a great personality, but he is the Supreme Personality of God. And very, very briefly he mentioned some pastimes of Krishna. Immediately Parikshit Maharaj requested Shukadeva Goswami, please tell me in detail about Krishna. Why? Why is he telling, please tell me about Krishna in detail? So there are so many different reasons why he is asking about Krishna in detail. That's given in the first chapter of this 10th canto. Why is he requesting Shukadeva Goswami to tell about Krishna in detail? Because Krishna is, first of all, not an ordinary person. He looks like an ordinary cowherd boy or a prince, son of Devaki and Vasudeva. His activities look like those of a small child playing with the mother. But he is not ordinary child. He is the Supreme Personality of God. This verse, describing the 8th verse, Nishithe Tama Udbhute. Nishithe means in the night. And what time of the night? Late at night. It is midnight. Midnight means there is dense darkness. Tamaha Udbhute. Guna is at its peak at midnight. Dense darkness. Tama is characterized by darkness. So dense darkness. At that time, midnight, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, Ardhana, appeared. Might be considered that he was in the womb of Devaki. Devaki was pregnant for the 8th time. She was imprisoned by Kamsa. She was in the prison house of Kamsa. So she was pregnant for the 8th time. And Kamsa had heard a foretelling. The 8th child of Devaki will be the cause of Kamsa's death. So Kamsa was anxiously waiting for Devaki's 8th child. And his plan was demoniac plan. What is demoniac plan? That anybody who's against my sense enjoyment, I'm not going to tolerate that. If required, I can even kill them immediately. So when Kamsa heard the prophecy at the time of Devaki's marriage, he became very afraid. Because these prophecies from the sky are actually Devatas who are foretelling, and everybody heard that prophecy very clearly. It was not as if Kamsa was hallucinating. No. It was a big procession that was traveling, going very nicely. Band was playing. Devaki's father had given very nice dowry to Vasudeva. Vasudeva was a king. So, Devaki was married as a princess. And a huge procession was proceeding. And Kamsa had taken charge of driving the chariot personally out of affection for his sister Devaki. And everything was very nice, very pleasing. Band was playing, and so many beautiful maidens, so many elephants, horses. A huge dowry was given. And with the dowry, Vasudeva was returning to his palace. From King Devaka's palace, he was returning to his palace. And everybody was in a very happy mood. Suddenly this voice from the sky drew everybody's attention. And addressing Kamsa as a fool. You fool. You are in ignorance about the fact that the 8th child of your sister will be the cause of your death. Suddenly everybody became alerted. What is this? Kamsa affectionately is sending off his sister at the time of her marriage, after her marriage is over. And then suddenly, the 8th child of the sister will be the cause of Kamsa's death. Kamsa's own nephew will be the cause of Kamsa's death. And that too at what time? Such a prophecy is being said at a very, very, very auspicious time. Devaki's marriage. Marriage would have been selected, no? The time for marriage. Very auspicious time they select for doing the marriage ceremony, isn't it? So very auspicious time. What is this inauspicious thing? That too, who is the one who is hearing or will be the target of this inauspiciousness? It is Devaki's own brother. And at an auspicious time, this inauspicious news is most horrifying. Everybody would have become perturbed, alerted. And among all of them, the very person who was prophesied to die, he would be the most affected. Kamsa. So, you have heard the turn of events. After this, so many things happened. And we are now hearing about Krishna appearing as the 8th son of Devaki, appearing from the womb of Devaki. So, if God has to appear, why should God come out of the womb of a earthly being? Why should God come out of the womb of an earthly being? So Shukadeva Goswami is telling here, clarifying, the Lord is, the child born is the Supreme Personality of God. What is that? Vishnuhu Sarva Guhashayaha. Vishnu, who is seated in everybody's, core of everybody's heart, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, He has appeared, He has incarnated, He has taken birth as the son of Devaki. And who is Devaki? Devakyam Devarupinyam. So this Devarupinyam means Devaki herself had appeared as the wife of Vasudeva, as the queen of King Vasudeva, but she is a demigoddess. Demigoddess. She is in the category of Vishnu himself. Vishnu in this material world is present as one of the forms in which he is present as the maintainer Vishnu, Kshirodaka Shayi Vishnu. He is a maintainer Vishnu. He maintains the whole universe. He maintains the whole universe. Millions of planets. And on each planet, millions of living entities. In all varieties. He maintains everybody. And as their maintainer, in the position of the Devata. Devata means those who are controllers, those who are administrators, those who are suppliers, those who are lords, controllers. So he is also situated as one of the controllers. But he also is situated in everyone's heart. Sarva Guhashaya as Paramatma. So in that way, he is not in the same category as the Devatas, but he is in a separate category as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Devaki belongs to that category, the category of the Supreme Personality of God. So, from the Upanishads we understand there are two categories of beings in this world. One is the category of Vishnu and other is the category of the living beings, conditioned souls. So, in this world, there are two categories of living personalities. So one is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, and in the same category of Vishnu also there are personalities who are not conditioned souls. Who are not conditioned souls. So in the same category as Vishnu is indicated here by Shukadev Goswami with the words Devarupinyam. So that is explained in the Brahma Samhita. What is this Devarupinyam? Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratibhavitavihi. Krishna and his entourage, means those who appear with Krishna for the sake of Krishna's Leela exclusively, Vasudeva, Devaki, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, the Yadus themselves, Uddhava, Satyaki, so many. Krishna comes with his associates from his personal abode. From his personal abode in the spiritual world, he comes to this world. So, the Brahma Samhita explains, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa. This is the category of the Supreme Lord, that he and his entourage are completely spiritual personalities. They come from the spiritual world to this material world only for the sake of Krishna's pastimes, Leela. That's all. They have no other business in this world. They don't have material desires. They don't accept material body. They are not under the laws of karma. They don't have birth, death, disease, old age. So they are ever liberated. Of course, the word liberated applies only to personalities other than the Supreme Lord. So, even though they may appear like ordinary human beings, they are not ordinary human beings. So, Krishna is Sakshat Vishnu, who appeared as the eighth son of Devaki, and Devaki is belonging to the internal potency, which is the one of the energies of Krishna for his personal purposes. Krishna has many categories of energy, and one principal category is his internal potency, Antaranga Shakti. Antaranga Shakti is his own personal energy for his purposes, for his enjoyment, for his spiritual existence, for his knowledge, for his everything. For everything of Vishnu, the person, there is the internal potency. Then there is the external potency for the sake of the conditioned souls. For the sake of the living entities who want to enjoy independent of Krishna. this whole material existence. So in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, very nicely Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, the spiritual world exists for the sake of Krishna, who is having unlimited spiritual desires. The spiritual world is for fulfilling Krishna's unlimited spiritual desires. And material world exists for the sake of the conditioned souls who have limited material desires. So material world is exclusively created for the conditioned souls to fulfill their material desires. Because Krishna is the Supreme Person. Living entities are His own part and parcels. They are also living personalities, eternal living personalities. Like Krishna has desires, living entities also have desires. But when the living entities want to enjoy independent of Krishna, separate from Krishna, then there is a need for creation, material creation. Otherwise, Krishna is always eternally with His devotees, with His parts and parcels who are devotees, eternally enjoying with them in His personal abode, in His internal potency. So, this external potency is for the sake of living entities, not for the sake of Krishna, not for the sake of His pure devotees, no. So, Devaki has not taken birth because of karma, because of her past material desires, because she wants to materially enjoy. No. She has come, she has appeared for the sake of participating in Krishna Leela as Krishna's mother. So therefore, the Leela is Krishna will appear as a child from the womb of Devaki. But the fact is, Krishna did not come out of the womb. Where was He? He was in Devaki's heart. The same Lord who is in your heart, my heart, is also in Devaki's heart. So that Supreme Lord appeared outside of Devaki's heart. And He appeared as her son. But again, one extraordinary thing about His appearance that we described later verses. What did Vasudeva see when the child was born? That's an elaborate verse. I'm not going to go into that. Here it is just said, the Supreme Lord appeared from the heart of Devaki in the dense darkness of night, like the full moon rising on the eastern horizon. You see, there are so many luminaries in the sky. They all are twinkling. They are shining. But when the moon rises, particularly the full moon, Purnima, on Purnima night, and the full moon rises in the eastern horizon, the full moon will shine brilliantly, and the moonshine will be so very brilliant that all the millions and billions of other luminaries in the sky, other than the sun is not visible at night. Other than the sun, all other luminaries will be appearing very, 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 very insignificant. Which means that When Krishna appears, all the other great personalities of this universe, the Devatas, the Rishis, the Gandharvas, the Kinnaras, the Kimpurushas, so many great personalities in Maharloka, Janaloka, Swargaloka, all the upper planetary system personalities, Brahma, Shiva, all of them become very, 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 very insignificant in the presence of the Supreme Lord. In every way, they become insignificant. Just like the luminaries in the sky, just like on an Amavasya, you can see the sky is cloudless sky. You can see so many luminaries twinkling, shining, so many. This is star-studded night. These astronomers, they study with their telescope and with all kinds of astronomical data and charts and all that. So they prefer to study particularly on Amavasya. Because on Purnima, the moon will be shining so brilliantly, all these other luminaries will become insignificant. So as long as Vishnu is not present in this world, manifest in this world, he is always present. But he is not manifest, he is in the core of the heart, or he is in his personal abode. Shirasa, Shvetadvipa. If he manifests, all these big, big demigods, big, big rishis, they all become insignificant. So exactly like that, it is described that Krishna's appearance made all other devatas look very, very, very insignificant. And it is a celebration, Krishna's appearance celebration, not only for Devaki and Vasudeva, not only for the Yadu Vamsha devotees, but for the whole universe. And something is happening in the universe itself. What is happening in the universe? The earlier verses describe. The Kinnaras and Gandharvas began to sing auspicious songs. Where are they singing? In their planet, which is millions of miles away from the earth. Because they have come to know the Supreme Lord has appeared in response to their prayers. Krishna himself, Vishnu himself, Sakshat Vishnu has appeared. And they are very, very joyful because Vishnu is going to finish off this Kamsa and all the demons who are burdening this earth planet, and the demigods who are in charge of maintenance, of controlling and supplying, properly regulating. The demigods have become incapacitated by Kamsa and the other demons. They are not able to function normally. So their problems will be finished now that the Supreme Lord is appeared. So they are very, very joyful. So they are showering flowers. From the heavenly planets, flowers are falling on the earth. This never happens except when the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears. It never happens. It never happens when any other Devata comes to this earth planet. It never happens when some yogi takes birth, some mystic yogi with all mystic powers takes birth. Some Siddha Purusha, some Mukta Purusha, some Brahmarshi, some Devarshi, some Rajarshi takes birth. It never happens. However great the personality in this material world, if they come to the earth, or they appear on the earth, or they manifest on the earth, it never happens that all the devatas, they'll be dancing, they'll be singing, they'll be showering flowers. It never happens. Never happens. So therefore, this is a occasion to celebrate for everyone in the universe, especially the divine beings. Therefore, the description here. The clouds are thundering very mildly, making a pleasing sound. Normally, when the thunder is there in the sky, it is fearful sound. You have heard, no, the sound of thunder. Have you ever heard the sound of thunder, which is very, very mild, very pleasing to the ears, like music? Never. It never happens, except when Krishna appears. That's why Shukadeva Goswami is describing in detail what was the situation when Krishna appeared. Clouds are mildly thundering. And what Shukadeva Goswami is describing is actually from the point of view of the inhabitants of the earth. On the earth, normally you cannot hear when the Gandharvas are singing, when the Apsaras are dancing, you cannot hear anything. You cannot hear anything on the earth. But now that the Supreme Personality of Godhead appeared, the Gandharvas sang in such a way that everyone on earth could hear the Gandharvas singing. And what is their quality of singing? They're the most melodious singers in the whole universe. Gandharvas. Gandharvas are singing. And who are the most beautiful dancers in the whole universe? The Apsaras. The Apsaras are dancing. Apsaras are dancing. So, therefore, the appearance of Vishnu, Prabhupada elaborately explains the purport. I think it's time up for me. So, in the purport, Prabhupada describes that there is lot of evidence, not only from the statement of Shukadeva Goswami, who is an authority on the subject matter of the Supreme Brahman, Brahma Vidya, spiritual subject matter. He is the supreme authority. Not only from his words, Vishnuhu Sarva Guha Shayaha Avirasi. Vishnu has appeared as a son of Devaki, from the womb of Devaki. So Prabhupada quotes the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Ajopisan avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropisan. Although I am unborn, even the living entities are described as unborn, but living entities are not bhutanam ishwaropisan. So, Krishna is unborn, but he appears as the Lord of all the created beings. Bhuta means the created beings. The created beings are taking birth, even though they are unborn. They're taking birth means they are accepting a material body. Krishna appears not in a material body. Therefore, Krishna remains unborn because he is not accepting a material body. And Krishna comes in his original spiritual form. He comes in his original spiritual form. Our spiritual form, we also have an original spiritual form in the spiritual world. But our spiritual form gets covered by this material form. Spiritual form is very beautiful, but we get this ugly material form. This material form is ugly. Why? It is made up of what? Skin, bones, flesh. Any of them are very nice things. They're all obnoxious things. But due to Maya, illusion, this material body is made to look very beautiful. That is the power of the illusory energy. That's the power of Durga Devi. So Durga Devi, she fabricates. She is the one who is fabricating this body in the womb of the mother using material ingredients. She fashions this body. So she makes it look very, 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 very beautiful. So much so that the conditioned soul thinks that this is a spiritual body. Conditioned soul does not think this is a material body. Because as spirit soul, we are spiritual personalities with spiritual form. But I wrongly think I am this body, or this is my form, and I also think this is eternal form. So my point is, our spiritual form gets covered by this material body, which is temporary, ugly, made up of obnoxious things, gives us pain all the time. Sometimes in illusion we think, oh, pain has subsided, or there is no pain. But actually always there is pain in this body. Body is filled with miseries. So Krishna, when he appears, he never accepts a material body. Janma karma chame divyam. So he comes in his transcendental form. He appears as the son of his devotee, who is a liberated personality belonging to the internal potency of Krishna, who is not a conditioned soul. So this is also indicated in Bhishma's prayer, in the Bhagavad Gita, in the Ishopanishad, in the Brahma Samhita. So all those evidences are given by Prabhupada in the purport. I'll stop here. Grantaraj Srimadh Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yes.